welcome back to Let's Talk Physical Media. My name is John.
My name is Matt.
So this is the show where we do every single week. Matt and I sit down and we talk basically everything physical media, anything physical media adjacent, and we also just kind of shoot the shit for about an hour. Anything we want to really talk about and, you know, answer some of your questions.
That's pretty much it. News, stuff like that. However, we're going to, by popular demand, we are going to add a new segment. We're going to probably start it in the beginning, just depending on what it is. We're going to teach John how to be more of a human and show him how to eat certain things and just open and broaden his horizons, because
Open some new doors for me.
Open some new doors because he's a pretty simple man. You eat a grilled chicken wrap 5 days a week.
It's a good grilled chicken wrap. I make it myself.
Yep, but you know, that's insane. So, I don't know about eating the same thing every single day. I would go absolutely crazy. But we're gonna keep you in the chicken wheelhouse today. And we were discussing, I forget what we were discussing the other day, but the man does not like chicken nuggets.
Nope.
It is chicken and breading, deep fried. What is the dislike about it?
It's a different kind of chicken nugget. Do you know chicken nuggets are different from a piece of white meat? You're thinking that they're taking a nice, like, you think it's a small chicken cutlet. It's the shit of the chicken that they fucking pack together.
At McDonald's, it's a pink paste.
Yeah.
And it's delicious.
No, McDonald's is absolutely the worst.
I actually had McDonald's chicken nuggets yesterday, and I said these were some of the best chicken nuggets They were very, very fresh. I got them around 12:30, 1 o'clock. They were brand new, fresh, delicious, and I was like, wow, these are some of the best nuggets I've ever had.
Kids order chicken tenders and chicken nuggets. I was never that kid. I never liked chicken nuggets.
Really?
People who like those dinosaur chicken nuggets, when I see them getting all the
we
stars.
got them in the freezer too.
No, they make me nauseous, the sight of them.
The ones that make me nauseous, now they also have cheese-filled chicken nuggets, which that is disgusting, and I've bitten into them before and been surprised by the cheese and then threw up. That's gross.
Yes.
No. Regular chicken nuggets, if cooked correctly, you can't microwave them because that is disgusting. You're a serial killer if you microwave any frozen snack that should be in the air fryer, like pizza rolls. That goes in the air fryer, oven if you don't have an air fryer. Do not microwave pizza rolls. Do not microwave chicken nuggets. That is insane.
There's a guy I work with who microwaves hot dogs. He goes home and microwaves 2 hot dogs with the bun in the microwave.
Ugh.
Yeah, you know, he's an animal.
Yeah, no. The microwave is like for popcorn, you know, frozen vegetables in the steam fresh bit. Certain things.
Yeah, quick warm up.
Anyway, so chicken nuggets. What we have here today, we have chicken spears. And now these are honey battered chicken nuggets.
Okay, so that sounds okay.
And then we have fancy sauce.
Yes.
With a little pepper.
Yeah, I saw that when you were making it. I was like, oh, you throw in your own little twist on it.
Yeah, it's ketchup and mayonnaise and some pepper. So, you know what?
Let me dive right in. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to dip it.
Oh my God. See, first mistake, timeout.
What?
The second hand does not belong on this.
Well, look how much I had a bad grip on the bottom, and then I'm going to...
It does not require the second hand.
No, now...
What do we think?
Pretty good. I think the fancy sauce helps to push it over the edge, though.
Right, okay. So
I still don't think the meat is great.
I mean, it's frozen chicken from the store. It's not going to be the best thing. We can double dip here. It's all right. Because I'm going to double dip.
Double dipped? What are you talking about?
Okay, but you know, I don't have a problem with people double dipping. But I know, and you seem like the kind of person that would have a problem with that. Yeah, I know, but you seem like the kind of person that doesn't want anyone else's germs around you.
That's a chicken spear.
Okay, so that's pretty good. I'll say that's not bad.
It's not bad. So we're not crossing that off the list. That's not disgusting.
No, okay.
That's not something we stay away from.
No, but I also know for a fact I will never buy those.
You'll never buy that.
No, because there's much better frozen fried snacks that I would get, such as mozzarella sticks or any kind of like jalapeno popper or fries and something like that.
I agree, but if you have an assortment of these things, you know.
No, I mean, I guess if you're doing a layout, an appetizer spread like people like to do for the Super Bowl, have a nice nacho dip.
Would you grab one?
Yes, I'd pick one.
You'd throw one on the plate.
Yeah, but I'm saying like I'm not going to probably make those at my house personally. But if I was making them for a group, it'd be a whole different story.
All right, so we got that. We'll work on the 2 hands. So let's try the
other one.
honey batter.
Oh yeah, I forgot about the batter.
Yeah, the honey batter one. Now these are a personal favorite. I like these a lot.
I'm gonna do one hand. Okay.
How do we feel about that? Do you taste the honey?
These are better.
You like this better?
Yes, these are actually really good.
Right.
These I would eat.
They're good, right? I believe these are different brands. I think I think the Spears were Purdue, and these are Tyson.
Okay.
I think they're in the red bag.
Those are the two big boys in the chicken family.
Yeah.
Purdue Never Frozen Fried Chicken. Mm-hmm. Yep. Before I worked where I work now, I worked in a deli department for a long time, so I had my hands in some raw meat for a very long time.
All right. So we like the honey batter.
Yes, the honey batter.
And I appreciate the single hand.
Yeah, I'm learning. I'm getting better. My napkin's already soaked, though, but that's okay.
Yeah, whatever. I mean, a lot more crumbs than I have,
Of course. But I'm trying to...
But that's the two hands. The two hands creates crumbs.
You think so?
Yeah, because a burger makes sense. You put two hands on that because it's pretty big. Mm-hmm. But this is pretty small. There's not enough room for all that and then to take a bite out of it.
True.
Right? So, but we'll get there. We'll work on it.
To each their own. But
anyway, let's talk some news.
Let's get into the news because you haven't looked yet, but really there wasn't much news this week.
Okay.
Until today. Okay. Arrow announced their, I believe it was June, Arrow June releases 2023.
Okay.
So you didn't look this up at all. So right off the bat, I'm going to go in order of my excitement down to the order of least excitement. So we'll start off with the least exciting stuff of this. And that is, it looks like there is a couple Warriors movies coming out.
Like The Warrior?
No, it's a movie called Warriors 2. This is an American and Canadian release.
Okay.
This one I cannot read because it's very small.
Mm-hmm. You want me to help you there, or?
Yeah. Why don't you take a look at... I'm going to scroll to it. Actually, I'll just do it myself. So, The Lighthouse is getting a UK 4K Blu-ray release.
And that's the one you just bought and got the wrong one, right?
Yep, I bought the Blu-ray. So I fucked up there. That was myself.
Whoops.
And then you get the Game Trilogy, which looks like another martial arts set of films.
Not interested.
No, that's not something I'm interested in either. We're not big martial arts fans here. So, if I didn't already have The Lighthouse twice on Blu-ray, and this packaging is really nice, I would have liked that because you had to buy it directly from A24 here in the US, and I couldn't watch the 4K. And then, so there's two big releases this month. And the first one is Waterworld coming to 4K.
That's Kevin Costner?
Kevin Costner starring in this
You
one.
were talking about that for a while, right?
Because it's considered one of the biggest bombs of all time. Kevin Costner's movie he did before this was Dances with Wolves. It won Best Picture.
Now, I know I've never seen this, but I've never seen it, but I also feel like this can be confused with the movie Splash.
Yes. Well, it's very...
Is it similar?
Splash is a comedy, isn't it?
I think it is, right?
Yeah, no, this is a serious drama.
Bill Murray, right? Or Tom Hanks?
No, this is a great movie. Daryl Hannah and Tom Hanks? You have seen a Tom Hanks movie. You've seen Splash.
I don't think I have.
John Candy?
I've seen Pete. Let me see the cover.
She's like a mermaid
That's the one I'm thinking of.
Yes.
Have I seen the whole thing? I don't think I've sat down and watched it in its entirety. And if I did, my mother probably was watching it. And this is 20 years ago at least. So
I would say that Splash has not... I mean, it's similar, I guess, in certain basic areas, but no. Waterworld is a full-fledged drama, and it's got some beautiful set design. That's one thing that you could always take away. The story gets a little ridiculous, but there is a TV cut of this.
You can see Dexter's head in the bottom of the frame.
So that is actually, I'm excited because people always say check out the TV cut, and I read all the cuts are being remastered, but just like with The Exorcist 3 and what else came out this week, what did you review?
Dead Silence.
Dead Silence. They only did the theatrical cuts in 4K, and then the other cuts were not.
Yeah, that's a shame.
So I don't know yet, but they did say that they're going to have all the cuts in this package, like the previous Blu-ray release from Arrow. But
right.
It does say they'll be remastered, but it doesn't say if all those cuts will be in 4K.
Okay.
There's the fear that just the theatrical will be, which I feel like is just a missed opportunity. And now the big one, Mallrats.
A 4K?
A 4K of Mallrats from Arrow Video.
No.
US and Canada. And it's getting a US special edition of Mallrats, which is different from the cover you have.
Huh.
So they got two. Yeah, I don't know how you feel about that.
You're going to get that right?
100%. Yeah, I don't have it. So... And I held out on, you've been telling me to get the Arrow release, the regular Blu-ray release. It's the same thing. It's got the map in it, like that beautiful thing, but they also have a special edition right here. And you see the HDR logo on there.
Yeah.
Now what sucks is Mallrats is not my favorite Kevin Smith movie. I know you're a fan.
I guess we should be excited, right?
I don't know how you feel because you own that Arrow Blu-ray.
Right, yeah. It sucks when you have a boutique Blu-ray And then they announced the 4K, and then again, like they're not even. Well, I guess you could say they're cheap, but that's in there somewhere. That box art.
Yeah.
I forget where. I'd have to pick it
It
up.
looks like that's a steelbook, though.
Oh, maybe that's what it is then.
So, but look, it looks like it looks cool. I like that cover. That's probably the version I will get. Although that steelbook could be in that, like True Romance, like they did last year.
Yeah, no, I like the.
You like this one, the regular standard.
Yeah.
See, it'd be weird for you to buy that when you already have it.
And then, and that's actually such a beautiful, amazing release too. There's a lot of extras and shit in there.
Yep.
And it was a good Blu-ray. So Clerks is on 4K, so it wouldn't be his first Kevin Smith 4K.
No. But yeah, do you want to tell them what we booked this week? So speaking of Kevin Smith.
Right, yeah. So we are doing the, what do they call it? The
View Askew Cruise.
Cruise, yeah. So we're going on a vacation. We're going on a cruise next February, but not just any ordinary cruise. Kevin Smith, Jay and Silent Bob will be on the cruise, along with Ralph Garman, Mark Bernardin, Brian O'Halloran is Dante Hicks, Randall Graves is Jeff Anderson.
He's there?
Yep, Jeff Anderson will be there. And I don't know who else. I'm sure there's some other surprises.
A lot of people in the Kevin Smith universe kind of deal with his podcast because they're doing live recordings.
Yeah, they're doing Hollywood. Him and Ralph are going to do Hollywood Babylon. Him and Mark are going to do Fat Man Beyond.
There was a 90s prom night that got me interested.
Yeah, I think they're showing a movie in the movie theater on the boat, and I guess he's going to Q&A after that or something. So it's going to be pretty fun. We're going from Miami to Nassau, Bahamas. I haven't been on a cruise since third grade, I think. We went on the Disney cruise.
I've never been on a cruise in my entire life.
Actually, this is another question, because you say Jaws is not a scary movie because you have no fear of sharks. You would not put yourself in that situation.
Yeah.
Now we're going on a cruise out in the open ocean.
Yeah.
Now does Jaws...
No, I'm not worried about Jaws. I'm still worried about exactly what I've always been. No, I'm worried about that fucking ball of fire in the sky burning me to death.
Oh, the sun.
The sun.
Well, yeah, I mean, this is a tropical vacation.
Yeah.
It's a cruise, so there will be some sun.
I'll be spending some time under the umbrella while putting on SPF 1000 to try and stay alive because the sun has tried to kill me in the past.
I hope they have a water slide on the boat.
Oh, they do. I looked it up.
They might even have the ones that go out of the boat and back on.
It's a Norwegian Pearl, so it's a Norwegian cruise. So if you guys want to come and hang out with us, like if you're Jay and Silent Bob fans or any fans of the View Askew universe, Matt's been a fan of this forever. I didn't really jump on board until we did that rewatch for the channel last year. Like I always liked Jay and Silent Bob, the Clerks movies, but I hadn't even seen like Dogma, and that's my favorite of his movies until we did that watch through last year. So I'm super excited for this, especially after doing the Clerks 3 watch along, like last year, seeing it in the city. Yeah, I'll do anything with Kevin Smith now. He just seems like he's a real fan
But also,
of fans.
all right. So I know Quentin Tarantino is your favorite director of all time.
Yeah.
But name any other director that does this much with his fans.
No director does this much as with their fans.
Nobody,
as he does.
right?
No one. I can't think of a director off the top of my head who's like this with their fans. I mean, Scorsese's a really cool dude, but I don't think he goes and hangs out with his fans. But he does go to the movies and review movies and tells you like he loved Pearl and X from last year. Like so. He just seems like a cool dude. Same thing with Tarantino, but I never hear about a director hanging out, going on a cruise with their fans.
Yeah, I mean, Kevin Smith, if you're familiar and you listen to his podcast and all his stuff, he's all about being Kevin Smith and doing as much as you can and staying relevant and all that stuff. So, like, he's a director, yes, but he just does so much more, and he just bought a movie theater, he's got a comic book
all this
store.
stuff in New Jersey, and we're we're not from Jersey, but we're not far from Jersey.
Yeah,
we're a rock kick away from it. So we're Northeast boys too. So he's like kind of like they're like all like our own, and he risked it. He lived his dream. He risked everything on his dream, and it's a really inspiring story. And he didn't forget about the people who helped him along the way. Mm-hmm. And that's his fans, and we love that, and we can't wait to go on this cruise.
I mean, he's also got his hand out for everything. Like,
oh yeah, I mean,
but that's
part of the game, right?
That's his job. The Kevin Smith fan club and all that stuff. Like I don't participate in any of that. But again, I enjoy his content. I enjoy him. He's awesome. So
I agree.
Very excited. So if you guys want to go on that cruise, you're interested. It's the Jay and Silent Bob Cruise Askew, I believe, is the website. Look up prices. It's a little pricey, but it's not a regular cruise. It's a regular cruise, but it's also an event. Mm-hmm. So if you guys are into the Kevin Smith stuff, check it out, and maybe we'll see you aboard.
Yeah, I can't wait to wear a captain's hat the entire time, and you're going to dress like Gilligan. It's going to be great. You guys have to come just to hang out with us, because
Yeah, it'll be a good time.
You know, we put that on some bad boy credit cards, so we'll pay it all in the next decade or two.
We'll get the drink package.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, we're going all out. I haven't been on a vacation since I went to Jamaica for my honeymoon.
I think this is going to be considered our honeymoon.
Yeah.
So you're coming to my honeymoon.
I am.
I'm getting married in July.
July 29th.
Yeah.
I know your wedding date.
Well, because you're marrying me.
Yeah, I am, but still, you have to think about it. It's the day you're getting married. All right, well, back to the news. There's also one more Arrow video release, and it's actually a big package that they're calling the Arrow Video Store. So it's got a bunch of Blu-rays in there.
It's a big package.
It's a big package.
Like mine?
Definitely bigger than that.
Okay.
You're about a cocktail weenie sized. But this has a couple movies from Stuart Gordon in here, and I would have liked to get some of these on their own, like Robot Jocks, which is like kind of Rock'em Sock'em Robots kind of deal. It's really cool. You would really like that movie. Very low budget, but fun as hell. And also in that package was Dolls, which is a great movie.
Dolls.
Dolls.
That's a horror movie.
Both of them. Stuart Gordon movies. He's the guy who did Reanimator and the movie I just saw. I did a review for it too. Why am I having it? From Beyond. Okay. Same guy. He filmed Dolls before he did From Beyond in the same sets, but Dolls came out after.
So Arrow looks like we haven't had news from Arrow in a long time.
Big news where I'm actually really excited for their release.
Yeah, so they're coming out with some stuff.
Yeah, I'm really excited about Arrow's releases. Now, I don't know if there was any more. There wasn't really any more new big announcements this week as far as anything really goes. Oh, actually, have you seen how many different editions of John Wick 4 there are?
Yeah.
You have to choose. Like, I think Best Buy, Walmart, and Amazon all have exclusives.
Yeah, so that's kind of a thing that I've been noticing a lot of the places doing. They'll get exclusives, and actually most of the time I prefer Walmart's.
Walmart's is my favorite too.
All right, so Halloween Ends.
Well,
I liked Walmart's the best.
Okay.
The last Spider-Man movie that came out.
No Way Home.
Walmart's slipcover was the best one.
Don't you have the Best Buy exclusive Steelbook?
I do.
Okay.
But I didn't know about the exclusive Walmart one, which I wish I did. It was him. It was like you can pop it up in the corner somewhere, but it was like him sitting on somewhere in Times Square, and it's like dark out and snowing, and you could see the big screen. It's really nice.
Yeah, that would have been cool.
Yeah, so the Walmart exclusive slipcover on that was nice. The John Wick, out of all the John Wick ones, I think I prefer the Walmart one.
Yeah.
And there was something else that Walmart did, and it's crazy because I never buy stuff from Walmart.
No, but they do.
Except when they do stuff like this.
It's just, and that you could just tell they already know that. But the thing is now, what sucks with John Wick is like, I have 1 and 2 in this 4K double package, and then I have a slipcover version of 3, and now I'll probably have an exclusive version of 4. And they had that really nice trilogy come out recently on 4K again, and that was nice box sets where everything was uniform.
I think we have the same exact editions of John Wick because we both got that 1 and 2 steelbook, and then I have a slipcover of Part 3.
Yeah, and we both are probably going to lean towards Walmart for number 4.
Yeah, that's
which
probably one I'm going to get.
Which, by the way, if you guys haven't seen John Wick 4 yet, we did a short on it.
Pretty fantastic.
My God, what a movie.
Pretty fantastic, yep.
Yeah. I felt, what's funny is like you had a complaint when we were leaving, and I didn't think anyone was going to agree with you, but I heard it on a podcast this week that, you know what? It was a little long.
Little long.
Now, I didn't have that problem.
Again, it was what, 3...
It was just under 3 hours.
It was 3 hours.
250.
Okay. So that 3 hours, although it felt long, was not as bad as like the 2-hour Bond movies we've been watching.
Yeah, I agree.
So you got to kind of like weigh it out. But again, it's a 3-hour. Any 3-hour movie is gonna feel long. Like, I don't care what's going on. A 3-hour movie is long.
It does feel long, but the last hour of that movie has some of the greatest action scenes I have ever seen in my life. Slight spoilers if you want. I just want to talk about a couple of the set pieces in here because they had a scene in a traffic circle in London or somewhere in Paris or whatever, and it was incredible. But then they did something that's right out of a video game where they had the camera above and watching John Wick just go room to room with like this exploder shotgun. I don't know what the hell it was, but it was so you can keep an eye on where John Wick is. And it was one of the most incredible scenes I had ever seen in my life. Cool. And it made me want to challenge you to a duel, which I would love to do because I'd win immediately.
You think?
Well, spoiler for the very end of this, didn't the blind guy win?
Right. But this blind guy is way, way more in tune with his senses. You trip over your own feet, and if you guys saw his car, it looks like he was in a demolition derby.
I've scraped a few, they put those things, that's what they're there for. They're guides, the guardrails. That's why they call them guardrails. It's a guard.
Yep.
So I've, a slight slip up there, but that's it.
So anyway, I wouldn't recommend challenging me to a duel.
Okay, if that's on you. I really feel like I have a good shot at winning.
I mean, hey, you could take a blind fire somewhere, literally.
And Donnie Yen playing another blind guy.
Yeah, I leaned over to him in the theater. I said, "Is that the guy from Rogue One? The Force is with me, and I'm one with the Force," or something like that. It was.
Yeah, Donnie Yen. Donnie Yen is.
So I was like, he's not really blind.
No,
right? Like,
Donnie Yen is probably most famous now for the Ip Man movies, which
never saw those.
There's 4 of them, and he's the star of them. But even that, he's just one of the most famous martial arts actors right now. He's like the modern day Jackie Chan.
Now, speaking of martial arts and Keanu Reeves.
Okay.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
47 Robin.
That is okay.
Yeah.
Is that good?
No.
Bad.
No,
okay.
that came out around the time of John Wick, actually.
Really?
There was a time when Keanu Reeves kind of went through a dry area before John Wick. John Wick shot him back up. Do you remember after Constantine really hearing from John Wick that much? I mean, not John Wick, Keanu Reeves that much? You had the Matrix movies in the early 2000s, but between that and John Wick, he wasn't really around. I remember that bomb, the End of the World or whatever, the remake that came out. The Last Man on Earth, I can't remember. It was something, I remember seeing the movie poster and it bombed at the theaters. And
no, I don't even know what you're talking about.
I can't think of the name of it. It was a remake of a 50s alien movie. But I remember that bombed at the box office. So he really wasn't doing nothing until John Wick came out. And then John Wick was actually supposed to be a direct-to-DVD movie.
Really?
Yeah, because no one at the studio had no faith in it. Well, no studio had faith in it. No one picked it up.
Did they watch it?
Well, it's just they had no name value. It was new directors. Keanu Reeves wasn't the Keanu Reeves we had already known.
Boy, were they wrong.
Oh, yeah. One of the biggest franchises in the world right now. It's getting a spin-off with Ana de Armas, a show about the Continental.
That's what I was about to say. So I started rewatching Kinda Funny's in review of the John Wick stuff. And that was 2 years ago they did it. I guess they were leading up to part 3.
Yeah.
And they were talking about that Continental spin-off.
Yeah.
What happened to that? Because I remember hearing about that also.
They said it's still in development. So I don't know when we'll.
Quiet.
Now it's just kind of a deal. The crumbs on my phone screen.
Well, I'm just trying to avoid them hitting the floor.
Okay. All right, I understand.
Well, Jesus. I didn't have a single crumb.
I don't know how. That's the crazy one. What?
Okay. Anyway. Do we have any other news? No other news, huh?
We have a lot of questions because we didn't get to a lot last week.
I have a question.
Okay, I have answers.
Well, it's not really a question for you because I don't think you have the answer for this. However, it's a question for you guys.
Okay.
So, I don't normally do this, but I bought an imported Blu-ray. Do you know what this is?
And I just saw the poster for this recently, but I couldn't tell you.
Really?
Yeah, I saw the poster. I swear to God. I just saw this. I was looking for a movie online on Google, and that poster was there.
And you don't know what it is?
No.
All right. So, what year is this? 2003 horror movie.
Is it House of a Thousand Corpses?
We have that on Blu-ray.
Okay.
That's a Rob Zombie movie.
Yeah, I didn't know if maybe
2003 horror movie. With the baddie here is it's supposed to be the Tooth Fairy.
Is that The Darkness? Or
Darkness Falls.
Darkness Falls? I saw this in the movies.
So did I.
Now, why do you have an imported Blu-ray? Is that the only way to get it?
So this is an out-of-print Blu-ray.
Okay.
There's an American, North American out-of-print Blu-ray, which fetches over $100. And I didn't want to spend that money on this movie because I don't really remember it. I can't speak to whether it's good or not because I don't remember much. I just remember I probably saw it in theaters with you, and I think I seen it on DVD once after that.
I watched it once after that too on TV, actually.
So I don't remember it being absolutely terrible, and I wanted to revisit it, but again, that out-of-print Blu-ray, I wasn't spending it. So for $20, you can get a Region ABC Spain import.
Okay. Have you put that in yet?
I did. I put it in yesterday just to make sure everything worked. So this is imported from Spain. Everything on the cover is Spanish, which I cannot read, and even the menus and everything come up Spanish. However, you slide over and you can hit
languages in Spanish.
Yes. So you can select your audio track to English. There's an English DTS 5.1 on there, and then everything's fine.
Okay.
So it plays just like a normal Blu-ray, but you just have to jump through a couple hoops to get there. Mm-hmm. But basically, my question is, does anybody know a website, or does anybody create their own custom covers for a Blu-ray? Because I would like to just pop this out, maybe put it in a blue clear one, because this is a black Blu-ray case, if you look at that.
Which I was actually going to say, did you do that yourself?
No, this is how it came.
Oh, okay.
Which, I don't mind the black case, but I figured if someone can make me an English version of this, or point me in the right direction of where to get one, that I could print it out on this like nice glossy paper so it looks legit, and then I'll get a Blu-ray, a clear Blu-ray case, and I'll put this in backwards, so I don't want to get rid of it, but I also don't want it to be the primary one on my shelf, because I don't know what that says on this. Well, I know it says Darkness Falls, but like...
You want to be able to read it while you're...
Right, yeah. I want to label this under D, not E.
Yeah, I get that.
So, yeah, if anybody knows how to do that. But I can confirm that the disc works, plays fine, looks fine, sounds great. So I have Darkness Falls on Blu-ray, and I just can't read the cover.
Well, yeah, I wouldn't have been able to get that if you didn't tell me.
So,
yeah, well, you know what? Hopefully you guys can guide us in that direction. That was cool. I thought you used to do that with 360 games.
I did, and I had a specific website and a printer and all that.
But yeah, I remember you used to do that.
I did a light Google search, and I haven't really found too much, so I'm still hunting, but if anybody knows where I could source custom covers or something like that, I mean, I'm sure we could find some sort of something on the computer where we can just make one.
I mean, yeah, I have a printer. I could just you could literally just Google images it, and it'll give you the box art. You print it.
But you have to get this
You have to get that paper.
Size.
You have to get that size paper, and you have to get that glossy finish.
Well, the paper is going to be a full size. You got to cut it.
Yeah.
But you have to find that size image.
The dimensions.
The dimensions.
Yeah, but you can just customize that too. I could probably help you with that, honestly. But if you guys know somebody better and more detailed oriented, maybe shoot us in that direction.
And you need like a better printer, not like a regular printer.
I have an HP.
It's like just a basic printer. I think you need like a photo printer to print on like the glossy paper.
Okay. Well, let's dive into these questions.
Let's dive right
Q&A time, and we had some questions come in late at last week after we had already filmed last week's episode of Let's Talk. So we're going to do those questions first. And this one came in from Frank the Tank Rodriguez. Evening, John and Matt. What's the worst theater movie and physical media movie you saw this year and why? And he also said in the second question, what's your favorite Samuel Jackson movie? As far as Samuel Jackson movies, I'm going to have to go with one of my all-time favorites.
Pulp Fiction. That's where my mind went.
He's Jules. I actually thought you would pick Mace Windu because of your obsession with episode 1.
That is a good one, but he's not a big part of that. Is anyone a big part of Pulp Fiction?
Well, in Pulp Fiction, no, everyone plays their parts, but his part stands out.
No, my name is the Lord when I lay my vengeance upon thee.
Yeah.
Jules is the best in that movie. Although, you could argue, after watching Jackie Brown, he's great in Jackie Brown.
Yeah, I like his part in his couple lines in Jurassic Park. I'm a fan of that.
I saw him, I just rewatched Halloween 3 this week, and he has a role in it, and they dub him. He's in a dream sequence, like in a small role. Blink and you miss it. They walk by him, and he turns and he says a line, and the line is dubbed.
Did you say Halloween 3?
I said Exorcist 3.
You said Halloween 3.
Did I? Are you sure about that? Oh, I meant Exorcist 3.
Because I was gonna say, what? Why did you watch Halloween 3 this week?
Oh, wow.
And B, I did not know he was in that because I've seen that movie.
Well, I meant The Exorcist 3.
Maybe it would have made it better, but.
So you're going with Pulp Fiction also?
Yeah, I think I'm going to go with Pulp Fiction.
And then he asked, what's the worst theater movie and physical media movie you've seen this year and why? Well, the year's pretty early, But if you were talking about within the last 12 months, it's definitely still Morbius. That movie was a
Does that count?
Yeah, I think that was like June or May of last year. It was that was brutal.
What about Matrix?
Oh, that's a year and a half ago. That was bad too.
Yeah, that was a disappointment.
Yeah, that was more of a disappointment. Morbius, I was a little bit flabbergasted. What movie did we see pretty recently? Oh, Cocaine Bear was kind of disappointing.
Cocaine Bear was a little bit disappointing as well. Yeah,
it wasn't bad.
The problem with that one was it wasn't over the top enough.
No, exactly.
It
should have been
too grounded.
Like, at least when we saw John Wick 4, people were in the theater cheering. Like, they were invested. When we were in Cocaine Bear, I thought that's what was going to happen.
And we had these little jerk-offs next to us.
Oh, yeah, you had to say something. Matt turned into an adult man that day.
Yeah.
He yelled at kids doing something he would do when he was a kid.
No, I never talked in the theater.
No, you did respect the movie theater. I don't understand why they came to the movies. Like, they were just having conversations.
Yeah.
I moved my seat.
These fucking shit asses.
Yeah, so that would probably be my worst experience. And off the top of my head, I'm trying to think of a 4K I've reviewed this year that had me really disappointed. The 3 Colors trilogy. That had me, that was terrible. I got that as a gift too, and I love those movies. And they changed the color timing on all 3 of them on 4K. I won't watch the 4Ks. I'll watch only the Blu-rays that are in that set.
Really?
That was atrocious. And apparently, I've heard mixed things. Somebody told me that that's the original color timing, and then somebody else said, no, the color timing on the Blu-rays is the correct color timing. The color timing on the Blu-rays is the color timing I prefer, so regardless, I like the color timing on those. The 4Ks, they're way too warm. They all look similar. That's the biggest disappointment for me this year so far.
Really?
Yeah, have you had anything let you down?
The first thing that comes to mind is not exactly a letdown, but the Training Day coming with a Blu-ray case was odd.
Yeah, that was disappointing.
To say the least. What else? I can't think of anything that's really disappointed me like that.
Black Adam, you were the only person happy with that. Double Jeopardy. You know that other people said that movie, the 4K, wasn't the greatest, but you liked it.
That was pretty good.
Yeah. Freaky, how was that?
Not bad.
Okay. So I guess you haven't seen anything too bad, at least from what I'm seeing on this list of stuff you've reviewed. Dazed and Confused was probably a great 4K.
Great, yeah.
There's the Rockies. The Core. The CGI was fucking terrible. Red Eye. And then that's it. Dead Silence.
Yeah, so, I mean, I can't think of... Was Silent running this year?
Well, it's within the last 12 months. It was December.
Yeah, so, I mean, I don't think that was a terrible 4K. It just wasn't a great movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was probably my only disappointment, I guess. Because I was somewhat excited for that. I went into that blind, and it was not what I thought it was.
No. Well, 70s sci-fi is much slower until we get to Star Wars. So, we'll move on to Lord Raiden's questions. Thanks, Frank, for those questions. You always ask some good ones. And he says, question for you guys on your Sunday video. Well, it's Sunday. What's your take on Mississippi burning?
Sunday.
I caught it on
You know what that is?
Sunday. No, I know.
SpongeBob.
Oh.
He's got the bad breath.
Then he's Sunday. And he got the.
Yeah. Put that clip in there.
Oh, I will. Sunday. I caught it on HBO on Showtime recently and forgot how good it is. And Gene Hackman is his usual awesome self. I'd love it to be on 4K, or better yet, I think a Criterion should try and release it. So, actually, I own that on Blu-ray, and Kino Lorber put out that Blu-ray. So, if anyone's going to be putting out a 4K of it, more than likely it would be Kino Lorber. And I love Mississippi Burning. Have you ever seen that? No. So, it's an 80s movie. It takes place in the South after... Basically, it's a very Klan-heavy town. Gene Hackman is a U.S. Marshal, I believe, and so is Willem Dafoe. And they're down there investigating. They come from different backgrounds. Willem Dafoe's a very clean-cut cop, and Gene Hackman, he's like kind of sloppy, dresses like how I look. And, it's just basically talking about how they're different backgrounds while researching this case and trying to, uncover all the killings and racism that's going on in the South. You also get Brad Dourif in this, who plays, in Chucky.
Chucky, yeah.
Yep, from that. Frances McDermott's in this. I don't know if you know who that is.
Heard the name. I can't put a face to it.
She's married to one of the Coen brothers, I believe. Yeah, she is, and because she's in one of the movies.
Okay.
But it's a really good movie. I think you'd like it. Great score. Gene Hackman's always good. We get a 4K from Criterion, but like I said, I think it's gonna come from Kino if we get it. The Kino Lorber Blu-ray that is out right now is good. It's a great Blu-ray. I bought that last year actually because I was in the mood to watch Mississippi Burning, and yeah, I could recommend that. Definitely check out Mississippi Burning if you haven't. You check it out too.
Maybe.
Don't fuck with me. All right, moving on.
Moving on
up to the east side. All right, and this one, this is your question. This is from Spiny Lobster Man. Nice segment on the equipment, guys, but you guys are overlooking how many Blu-rays you guys own that actually have DTS tracks on it. It's more than 10% of your collection. I can't wait for You Only Live Twice. And you Superman reviews, John. I can't wait to do those two, actually.
I'm going
to do them. I'm getting excited now. Question for Matt for next week. Can you talk about and go over what kind of settings the ARC has on it? Thanks, Shep. So you've been talking to Shep about the DTS and PCM tracks. So explain the ARC to everybody so that they understand because Matt uses a Sonos ARC system that we've talked about it. That's what he has in his basement. And Sonos and LG have pass-through problems when it comes to DTS tracks where they will transfer them to PCM tracks. So it's like basically taking, like, say you take Lexapro and they give you a generic version of Lexapro. It's the same exact thing, but it's just writes things usually.
What is Lexapro?
Lexapro is an antidepressant. I was just giving like an example of a medication that would help.
I would have said Advil to ibuprofen.
No, but like,
you know?
but ibuprofen is Advil.
Right.
Advil isn't ibuprofen. Ibuprofen is just a form of pill.
Right, but I'm saying when you you can get Advil, or when you get the store brand, it's just
I guess that. I was just thinking like when they prescribe you like any sort of medication, like even if they prescribe you like an antibiotic, like when you get to the pharmacy, they'll be like, oh, it is that. It's just this is the generic version.
Yeah, you're just paying for the name. I guess.
Exactly.
Yeah. So the ARC, we went back and forth in some of the comment sections. It's called an ARC because it only works with the ARC port on your TV. So the only way that operates is if it's plugged into the ARC port on the TV. So what Spiny Lobster was suggesting, which is not a bad idea, is the Panasonic 4K player has 2 HDMI outs. It's got an audio and a video, and that's for like very, very high-end setups where you're going to plug it into a receiver. It doesn't work if you plug it straight into the Sonos because because the Sonos also doesn't have a remote. It needs to be connected to the TV to operate. So unfortunately, that just will not work. At least in the research that I've done, I'm not digging through all my wires and all that stuff to actually try it firsthand because it's a lot to unhook everything. But from the research I've done, there's no possible way to do that. As far as the DTS stuff goes, that's really, I guess, we're at the mercy of of the LG TVs at that point.
Yeah.
Why LG doesn't support DTS, I don't know.
I know why. It's just because if you ever look in the right-hand corner of your TV, it'll tell you whenever you have a Dolby track on. They must have some sort of deal with Dolby.
Which most people do, because Xbox is the same way.
Yeah.
Although Xbox, in the sound settings, you can select DTS.
I have noticed
over Dolby Audio.
And Lobster Man is also not wrong about, like, it is more than 10%. I would say 50%, especially when I do reviews. A lot of them have DTS.
Yeah, that Fast and Furious just has a DTS-X track.
Yeah.
And I wish we could experience all of them to their full potential. It's a shame, but
I mean, it might be. That's the thing. We just, there's no way. It's like, but most people, I feel like nowadays do have LG C-Series TVs.
Yeah, so it's really crazy that it doesn't support DTS. Although, I mean, Dolby,
it kind of does.
Dolby is the more dominant one out there. I feel like there's no DTS theaters out there.
No.
You have Dolby cinemas. So
isn't it crazy they just took over because THX was the biggest thing back in like the late 90s.
Yeah, THX. But yeah, so I think that what the TV is doing and the player converting it to the PCM, I think it's fine because it sounds still amazing. It still sounds fantastic, and I have no complaints. I really can't imagine it being any better. If it is 5% better, I'm whatever. It's not worth upgrading whatever equipment I have to upgrade.
Yeah, you already spent over $3,000 on this equipment.
Yeah, I love my Sonos. Everything's wireless. It's easy. It's simple. It sounds pretty damn good.
Like I said, it's sad. Every time I come watch a movie here, I get jealous because it's incredible. It's equivalent to like an in-home Dolby theater, at least to my ears. Like I said, I assume it's probably like somebody who's really into
not even close, but
okay, whatever. Like I said, it's like the people who drink wine and they can taste all the flavors. But then when I drink a wine, I'm like, that's a pretty damn good white, you know, like you know, or a good red. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so like I can hear where it's all coming from. I can tell like what speakers everything is coming from. But like when you're in a small space like this, it can be very loud and overpowerful.
It is. It sounds amazing. It rumbles the entire house. It's crystal clear, and I've never had better home audio. But is there room for improvement? Absolutely. If I had another $13,000 to do a complete home theater setup, sure. But that's not what we're doing here.
No. So we hope we answered your question. That's a good one. And we're going to move on to the Kevin L. questions of the week.
But he also asked about settings on it.
Oh, yeah.
There's, you know, the Sonos has an app, and you could go into there and you could... All right, so let me just so I don't get anything wrong.
Because Matt does adjust the settings for each movie as he goes in, especially since I was just showing him about... And actually, while he brings that up, to give you guys a little update on half-assed movie reviews, we're going to be taking a short break from the James Bond movies because Matt, as you guys may have known, is a big Fast and Furious fan, to my chagrin, and we're going to be seeing Fast 10. So we're going to dive in and do all the Fast movies except for Hobbs and Shaw, which we will do after Fast 10 comes out. So this week we'll be starting with the Fast and the Furious. And why am I bringing that up? Because he just had to adjust the dialogue track on Fast and Furious' 4K, which I own, and he doesn't. He owns the Blu-ray still.
I didn't have to adjust anything.
I thought you said the dialogue was too low, and this is the first time in a while you had to adjust it.
No, there's no adjustment. So the only adjustment Sonos has is you could do dialogue enhanced mode or night mode or just standard. So I run everything in dialogue enhanced because it does bring up the dialogue on everything. But even with that on the Blu-ray of the Fast and Furious, it still was kind of low, and it's very rare that I have a dialogue issue with this system.
So maybe I guess the source material recorded it low. Because if you ever watch a Nolan movie, recent Nolan movies, the dialogue track is always the lowest in the mix for him for some reason. There's even lines in Tenet you can't hear.
Really?
Yeah.
All right,
and that's intentional.
For the Sonos, for the settings, there's an EQ, so you can select like your treble, your bass, your mids, your height speakers, the amount of bass. There's a lot of like stuff to tweak and fine tune, and you can shut off audio compression. Like, I don't understand how that exactly works. I don't know why it would be compressed audio going to it or coming out of it, but I have that shut off. Change your like if you're having a lip sync issue, you could do all that on the Sonos app. There's another thing that's really cool with the Sonos called TruePlay. So when you first set up your Sonos system, you'll select TruePlay, and it emits the sound through all the speakers, and you have to walk around your room, your space, and like wave your phone around, and it kind of gauges and maps out the room for you, so it tunes your system to your specific space. So it's really cool, the stuff they do. I think it sounds fantastic. I think it's the superior soundbar out there. But again, if you want the best audio ever, you're gonna have to get a full-blown receiver and spend a ton of money and put 15 speakers in your room. But if you want to keep it simple, wireless, and it's still not even that cheap, you can go Sonos.
Yep, but you can build on the Sonos system.
And you can build.
So you can just go buy the Arc and then wait till Christmas or something. Maybe you guys have a good lover who can help you out.
I highly recommend the Sonos systems if you're just going to stick with a soundbar. But if you're going to go crazy with like a Denon or a Marantz receiver, you go that route, you're going to spend 3 times the amount.
Yeah, I would love to do that one day.
One day
when we get some money. But now we're moving on to the Kevin L. questions of the week. And Kevin asks the questions that make Matt think. And he gets frustrated because Matt has a hard time thinking. So we're going to do this right now. First question is, which movie characters do you think are the biggest Karens? Do you know what a Karen is? You're the male equivalent of a Karen.
I am not.
You sure bitch a lot.
The male equivalent.
No, he's not asking. He's just saying who are the movies. So my answer right, the first people I thought of were the 2 sisters from White Chicks, the girls that Marlon and Sean turn into.
Bags are on the plane. Take baby and clean out his bag. Oh my god, he didn't have his colonic and he like pooped everywhere.
I'm going to have a BF. She's gonna have a bitch fit.
Yeah.
Those two are like clearly Karens.
Yeah, they're up there.
Gone Girl. What's her name in that?
I haven't seen that yet.
Yeah, she's a total Karen. 110%. She's a psycho. Most characters have a little more than them than just being malicious and stuff like that. Ooh, the old lady from Gremlins, the one who gets shot out of the ceiling on the stairway.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, she had that coming. She hated dogs and everything.
Yeah, that's a good pull.
My heart! Fuck her.
Yeah. That's a good pull.
Yeah. Was there someone like that in Back to the Future, too? Oh, Biff's, I mean, he's just a bully. He's not really a Karen. Who else?
This is a hard one.
Yeah. I see. Yeah, I'm having a hard time, too. I had the White Chicks one was the one I was like, that's the answer that I was definitely going to go with. My mind's stuck on the Wayans brothers. Damn it. Would you say the girl from Halloween was kind of a Karen?
Which one?
The one shouting, Lindsay!
No. I was thinking Home Alone.
Buzz?
No.
Uncle Frank?
No. Well, yeah, him too. The one that doesn't pay for the pizza.
No, he's like, it's my brother's house. He'll get it.
Yeah.
As he grabs the pizzas and heads off into the kitchen.
No, but I was actually thinking of what's his face? Who plays Pennywise?
Oh, the new Pennywise? Well, Tim Curry.
Tim Curry.
That's Home Alone 2.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, he's a dick in fucking Home
Yeah,
Alone 2.
with the
Yeah. Well, that was
asking
Rob
for the-
Schneider asking for the tip.
Oh, it was Rob Schneider.
Yeah, Tim Curry was the one running the desk, and then he comes
Right.
up there, and he's like, he's always trying to catch Macaulay Culkin lying about his father, and then he's up there, and he's like, I love you.
Yeah.
I love Tim Curry.
Yeah.
He's so good.
I guess.
That's a hard one. That's a hard question. Kevin really, you know what? He challenges us every single week, and I appreciate it.
I have a good answer. I haven't gotten there yet.
What do you mean, to the movie?
No, I know there's something out there that like is a perfect answer for me, but I just
Yeah.
can't think
Well,
of it
this is
right
one
now.
for you guys. Let us know in the comment section who is the biggest Karen in movie history. Let us know. Oh, one I just thought of is the person who plays the Wicked Witch of the West in freaking The Wizard of Oz.
That's a good one.
You know, before that, she took the dog Toto.
Well, I guess you got if you're going witches, you could say Hocus Pocus, the Sanderson sisters.
Yeah, but they weren't Karens. They had balls.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
They were killing kids.
Right. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, that's one thing that Disney really does gloss over. The Sanderson sisters killed kids, and we watched that movie.
What about Sean William Scott in Jay and Silent Bob?
Oh yeah, he is great.
In the
In the van with the guitar.
Yeah.
I love his character.
What is your malfunction?
Sean William Scott's another really underrated actor. Every
Yeah.
time he pops up, role models, he's always funny.
Yeah, that's a good one.
What is your malfunction? Would they call him Goat Fucker? He's like, I guess if I had to. Like,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah. This guy ain't one of us. He said he'd fuck a goat.
All right, well, let us know what you guys think is the greatest movie, Karen. We're going to do Kevin.
Sorry, I blanked on that.
Yeah, well, you're gonna have a hard time with this one. Oh,
great.
I can't wait. I made a list for this one because I couldn't wait to just drop the bomb on you when we got on here. What 5 movies can you recommend for most people? Recommend that most people have never heard of. Pick one from each of these decades: 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s, and the 2010s. You can only use the same genre once.
Jesus Christ. So what?
Okay, well, I'm gonna go first.
Go.
You can use, so you have to pick one movie from the 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s, and the 2010s.
Okay.
You can only use the same genre once, and it has to be a movie that you believe a lot of people haven't heard of. And I had the hardest time with the 70s, so I actually went with Marathon Man because I feel like, I knew of Marathon Man, but I hadn't seen it until recently. So I feel like a lot of people don't realize that movie's out there, and that's a really good thriller starring
Yeah, I don't think I'll have an answer for the 70s because I probably don't even know too many movies from the 70s. For the 80s, that's
somehow I
probably,
couldn't remember Dustin Hoffman.
So for the 80s, what I think is not a well-known movie that I think is a must-see, I'm going to use my horror card.
I know, I knew this
80s.
was going to come up at some point, some
What?
horror stuff.
Yeah.
Because you probably could pick a genre.
I'm gonna say Chopping Mall
That's a good call.
for the 80s horror. I feel like that's not that well known.
And that's a great movie.
It's a fucking awesome movie.
I
yeah.
agree. That's a good call. Mine for the 80s is going to be a little movie called Moving. Have you ever heard of this?
Nope.
It's a movie that stars Richard Pryor. His family, he gets a great job in Boise, Idaho. So him and his family are going to be going cross country, and basically it's all about their shenanigans as they get to their house. There's one amazing joke in this movie where they're looking at the house they're going to buy, and the guy keeps making this joke, oh no, we're taking that with us. And he makes it at everything. He makes it like at the pool. He's like, oh, we're taking that with us. When they get to the house, they literally took all that stuff. They took the front door, they took the pool, they took the cabinets.
Oh, wow.
He had no idea. Oh, it's a great movie. So that's my recommendation for the 80s.
And what is that called?
Moving.
Okay.
It's a great comedy from the 80s. A lot of people don't remember that Richard Pryor one, but me and my mom loved that one growing up.
I got a good comedy for 2010s, I guess.
Okay.
Strange Wilderness.
That's a good one.
Because I feel like no one knows about that.
Nobody knows. We know about that one.
Yeah.
How did we find that one? Is it because it's Happy Madison?
I guess. I have no idea how we found that.
Because you found that and showed me.
Yeah, Strange Wilderness. Fucking awesome.
Got some fog rolling in.
Set the bong down, son. But see, I can go more common, like The Goods.
Yeah, that would be the 2000s. Like, my 2000s pick was Moon, which is a sci-fi movie from the 2000s. That movie stars Sam Rockwell in dual roles. He plays the same character that's been cloned. It's a great sci-fi movie if you haven't seen it. It's very underrated. It was actually directed by Duncan Jones, who is... What the fuck is his name? He's a singer.
What?
He's a singer.
Who?
The guy's father, Duncan Jones' dad, is a really famous singer. David Bowie. David Bowie is Duncan Jones' dad. So he's the guy that directed Moon.
Okay.
And then for my 90s pick, I had Fearless drama starring Jeff Bridges, Rosie Perez. Great movie. Very inspirational. Very sad, too, though. But that's a good one. So that'd be my 90s pick, and that's a drama. So I think I got all... Oh, I didn't tell you guys my 2010s one that nobody saw. Steve Jobs.
With Ashton Kutcher.
No, that's Jobs. That's what I mean. Everybody knows Jobs, but Steve Jobs, directed by Danny Boyle and starring Michael Fassbender as Steve Jobs. His movie is structured so uniquely. It takes place during 3 keynote events. One for the Macintosh, another one for when he left Apple and he worked for his own company, and then for the third one was he came back to Apple, I believe in 1997, with the relaunch of the Mac, the colored Macs. And they all take place at these keynote events, and like characters come throughout. Seth Rogen's in this as Steve Wozniak. Jeff Daniels is in this. It's a great movie. If you haven't seen this one, definitely check that one out. I love Steve Jobs. I'll talk about Steve Jobs all day.
Okay. Let's see. See, I'm at a disadvantage here because, as you said, I'm a genre film guy.
Yeah, so you can only pick one from each.
And I only stick to like the big 3 genres. And it's,
action sci. You haven't said an action movie. Is there an action movie
I think is underrated or like that no one knows about?
Yeah.
Not real. Maybe Cobra, but I used the 80s already.
Yeah.
And I mean that's just only because we're not Stallone guys, so probably that might even be more popular than the Terminator. I don't know. Red Eye.
Red Eye. Yes, that's a good one.
But
that's a thriller. That's a
Okay,
thriller.
well,
I did that with Marathon Man. That's a
well,
thriller.
I'm gonna do that.
Yeah.
So that's what, early 2000s.
Yeah.
So that's the 2000s. I did the 2010s. I got the 80s.
Yep.
I'm passing on the 70s.
Yeah, so you just gotta get something in the 90s. It's a shame you already used the 2000s because we both could have used this movie because I know that me and you talk about it. Boiler Room would have been a good one that I feel like nobody knows
Boiler
about.
Room, yes.
Because that took place
So
on
90s. Now we're talking 90s.
Try and find a 90s action movie on there that you think that not a lot of people know
and
about.
I haven't used action yet.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You love action movies. Your action section's fucking huge.
It is.
I mean, you can recommend The Rock. I wonder how much people remember that The Rock was really where Michael Bay took off. Because, people probably say Bad Boys or Armageddon from the 90s for him. But The Rock was huge.
Yeah, The Rock is up there. I wanted to say Maniac Cop.
I was just going to say, you could probably say Maniac Cop. Because I don't think that's necessarily a horror movie.
I think it would be Maniac Cop 3 would be in the 90s.
Yeah, the first one's... The 2 of them are in the 90s, 2 and 3.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
But again, that's horror or...
I think you can get away with Maniac Cop 2 or 3. They're very much action. Like, yes, you could say if anything, he's sci-fi.
I was looking for sci-fi stuff too, but that's all pretty mainstream as well. I'm a mainstream guy. I don't really have to...
No, you don't know. You don't go too... Yeah.
I guess there's a lot of stuff that people haven't heard about, but I don't know.
Yeah. But as you can see, Kevin gets Matt yet again.
Yeah,
Great question. I should start giving these to you before we do the videos, but
Yeah, maybe,
but then we don't get the natural reaction from you.
Yeah, I
And
guess.
and I think it's funny that way. Because I did when he sent that question on whatever day it was, Wednesday or Thursday, I sat down and went through movies.
Yeah, no. Yeah, I can't fire from the hip like that, like you do. Not good at that. Well, you're not exactly fired from the hip. You cheated. You did research and all that. Anyway.
Yeah, because actually, it's funny. If I didn't do research, I would have probably said after hours. For
Yeah,
these.
the rules were too strict on this one.
Yeah,
Come on.
I love it. I love it.
Come on.
Keep those questions coming, Kevin, every week. And if you guys want to ask some questions for next week's video of Let's Talk Physical Media, you can leave those in the comment section below. And then while you're down there, make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel. If you're listening to some podcast services, ignore this part. But if you're not, search for us on all podcast services. Give us a 5-star rating there. And then after you're done doing that, go to your local movie theater and tell them about Let's Talk Entertainment and Media. We'll see you around.